Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Hey traders, John Howell here. Hope you guys are well. I want to have a look at the overall markets right now, guys, and to see what's really going on right now in the markets. A bit of a market update to see what actually happened today and what's going on and all that down home country goodness. So let's actually get straight into it right now, guys. Let's have a look at the Sp500. The first thing that I do say, guys, is that across the board, we are seeing that even though we're getting a very slow stair stepping up, we're still getting my 52 moving average. See my long-term moving average? This is the S&P. See that long-term? This is the 52 moving average. That's pointing down still. We're getting the Dow Jones. That's still pointing down a lot as well too. And the same for the Nasdaq as well too. So we're still pointing down overall. We're not getting any change here. So that's really... it's interesting to see that we're getting that, right? We're not even getting a bit of a flattening right now as well too. So that's actually quite it's quite an eye-opening for that process and for what we're looking at there. So even though we're getting this upward move, guys, I would really like to see this overall trend start to really change. So the overall, if I look at this market here, the Dow Jones right now is stuck right at that 52 moving average, and the 20 is starting to catch up here. So it'd be really interesting. Can we actually start to break up and above this level through here? So this whole level through here, as we can see how this resistance where we are right now, still struggling where we are right now. So it's really interesting to see what is going to happen here. I am still quite bullish on this. I actually have a target of 27,000 Dow, so that's why I believe we are likely to continue to run to when it comes to the Dow Jones industrial average. Even though we're getting the moving average pointing down, I still do see this is probably likely to continue up to the 27,000 level through there. Also the S&P 500, we can see how that once again we're still trying to slightly break above, but we're just slowly crawling up. Aren't we? A little low, or it's a higher low, just trying to break back above here. Oh yeah, I ultimately have a target of around the big target for me, which is that 3,000. I think once we get to 3,000, that 3,000 to sort of 3,100 is definitely a level, but I think that 3,000 has always been a target for me that I believe we're likely to get to before and if we start to get a lot of resistance in the markets through there. And so that's what I'm seeing through there, guys, on the S&P 500. I still see a very nice movement to the upside in all the indices, and the Nasdaq as well too. I see this thing continue up quite nicely, and I see this thing. We're very close to getting its gap. We have a lot of earnings coming out as well too, and we know Netflix is going to smack it out of the park, right? We know Amazon as well too, like those sort of companies that are going to do really well. We know also Microsoft had like a 700% increase in its service, I think it was as well too. Not too sure about Apple, but we see a lot of the tech stocks, right? A lot of the tech companies over this time, right, have definitely increased massively. So I would say the profits are likely to come out really good for these companies. And I definitely am very bullish overall long term on Netflix and Amazon as well too. I definitely see that we've got a lot more upside to come on those companies. I'm not too sure about Microsoft, but yeah. So therefore, this whole Nasdaq here, it's what we're probably likely to continue up and continue rallying up until we get to this close, until we close this gap up the top here where we are right now. So that's a bit of an update, guys. There's still no sign of this actually reversing right now or starting to top out. And so if you're trying to short the market, if you're trying to still pick the top of the market, still can't believe this market's rallying with all this bad news, then focus on the markets, right? Remember, we trade the markets. We don't trade news, right? It's not like the news comes out and then suddenly we can trade the markets. Why? Because as we can see, right, the news has been pretty bad all this time. This market's rallying. So focus on the markets, okay? Focus on what the market is doing and trade that. Don't say, oh, well, the news is going to do this, so I'm going to go short the markets. Why? Because you shouldn't be doing that. There's so many amazing opportunities like Netflix and Apple and all these other amazing stocks out there, right, that are really giving really good signals and entries. for these particular trades. So be patient, wait for your setup, whatever your setup you follow, and just be sure. But I do see this thing likely to continue, especially the Nasdaq, and I actually see all-time new highs coming this year. Especially on the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is one that's going to be probably strongest, especially with all that exactly what I said there. The big ones coming out of Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Amazon, those sort of companies are probably likely to continue pushing this market and probably the overall market a lot higher as well. Traders, I am running a free training, and on this free training, I'm going to walk you through my #1 trading system for the last 15 years. If you're wondering, what is my trading system? How do I actually trade the markets? What sort of setups do I look for? Then this is for you. See, on this, I'm going to walk you through all the details, but I'm going to walk you through the 3 secrets. The secret #1 is I'm going to walk you through the one thing that took me from $250,000 in debt and almost went bankrupt to actually shifting to actually making money from the markets. I'm going to talk about that one thing. Secret #2, I'm going to walk you through all the steps and all the details to my trading system. I'm not going to hold anything back. You're going to learn all the details to this. So you too, when you leave, you'll be able to see exactly how I trade the markets and what sort of setups I look for, so you can start to apply it today as well too. And secret #3, I'm going to show you exactly how and how I trade the markets for only 1 hour per day as well too. So I'm going to walk you through everything through. So if you're struggling with your trading right now, you need to see this. If you're looking for a really high probability trading system that gets like over 90% success rate, then this is for you as well too. And if you're looking for a way to be able to have freedom in your life, but also condense that down with a really good trading system, then secret #3, you're going to love that as well too. So I'm running that free training today. So go to johnsfreetraining.com right now, and I'll see you there.